Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know With the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution. I'm Dale Minio. It's a comfortable 66 degrees this morning, no additional moisture to add, and it sounds like Ryan Martin's going to tell us that might be hard to come by. In the meantime, upcoming activities, make plans to visit the Henry County Fair, August 8th through the 15th. More details at henrycountyfair.org. Also, the Southwest Ohio Corn and Wheat Growers Field Day is August 13th at the Fayette County Airport in Washington Courthouse. The remote broadcast is all thanks to LCNB National Bank. Visit them at lcnb.com to learn more about their ag lending program. And let's check in now and find out the latest on yesterday's Crop Tour wrap-up.
Dale, day 2 of the Ohio Crop Tour, sponsored by the Ohio Field Leader, wrapped up. Here's a summary of what we talked about. In the immediate area, talking sort of north central Ohio, the Delaware, Union, Marion, Morrow County. And that first day of the tour, we saw a lot of good-looking crops. Some places better than others, but we discussed that we were surprised how uniformly good things looked. As the day progressed today, we started off in Crawford, hit Wyandotte, hit Hardin, Hancock, Henry, Defiance, Putnam, and Allen counties, and things changed the further north and west we got, and a lot of that changed. Not that anything looked quote-unquote bad, but things were more delayed. They weren't as developed as much. Emergence was maybe a little bit more uneven. Probably the biggest thing we saw was the tremendous potential that still seems to be out there based on what the future is going to hold for that crop. There's a lot of, let's just say, less mature crops than in other parts of the state that still have, if the conditions are right, the ability to really make a nice crop and finish. How about you guys in the south?
So yesterday the south leg went down into Pickaway County, and it's tough. It's dry. If you look at the drought monitor, you can almost draw a circle around Pickaway County, and that's the driest part of the state, and it was rough. And there were fields we were in where there's definitely still potential. They're still fairly early developmentally, and if we catch some rains, there's still some upside there. But I would say the driest counties we saw today were Madison, and then Fayette was getting pretty dry. And otherwise, things were okay. And in fact, several of the counties had gotten a really nice rain here in the last couple days.
To review all the tour details county by county, be sure to read the articles at ohioagnet.com. This project was sponsored by the Ohio Field Leader. That's a project of the Ohio Soybean Council and your soybean checkoff dollars at work.
And thanks, Dusty and Matt. Thoroughly enjoyed all the photographs to get to tell the story of what you saw in each county. Thanks for your hard work. Today's weather brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com. Here's the forecast.
Drier weather emerging over Ohio. However, I don't think it's going to be problematic because we don't see large-scale heat. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your Ohio Ag weather update. Here's what's going on. We are drying down for today, well, actually starting yesterday, but today going all the way through this weekend into the start of next week. As a matter of fact, we may get away with almost no precipitation across Ohio through next Thursday. Next Tuesday, Wednesday are interesting because there's some moisture trying to come across Illinois into parts of southern Indiana, but nothing well enough organized to make it all the way to us. So I think that we're going to be pushing into Thursday and Friday before our next round of moisture. When it comes, we likely pick up anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch with coverage around 80% of Ohio, but it won't be till late next week. However, as we've kind of alluded to, the heat seems to want to be bundled up a little bit farther to the south and west. Texas, southern Oklahoma, but not expanding into our neck of the woods here. So while I think that humidity values are going to be comfortable, temperatures are going to be pretty doggone close to normal. Humidity will try and sneak back up early next week, but I don't think it's to a level that's going to be awful at this point in time. I really see no problems here for crop growth and development across the Buckeye State, particularly when we're looking at soybeans with pod set, pod fill. Weather looks pretty nice for that overall. I'm meteorologist Ryan Martin.
And thanks, Ryan. Let's check in on our weekly update from the Ohio Soybean Council and your soybean checkoff dollars at work. Here's Dusty Sonnenberg.
Joining me today is Dr. Horacio Lopez Nicora. He is our soybean pathologist and nematologist with OSU Extension. And Horacio, interesting as we look at beans around the state, some places look really good. Other places maybe struggled a little bit to get started, but they are starting to fill in. But now is the time to go out and do some scouting.
Absolutely. This is a time when we want to be walking our fields. We are in that reproductive stage of the soybean where we really want them to be healthy, right? We want to scout the fields. We want to look for any particular symptoms. We are now in the part of the growing stages where we will be able to identify foliar diseases if they're present, right? And we want to make sure that if we are in that R3 to R5 growth stage, and we do, encounter foliar diseases such as frog eye leaf spots, for example, that's a time that we really want to protect our beans. Encourage everyone to start scouting fields. In the case of diagnosis comes that we actually have foliar diseases, maybe that will warrant a fungicide application. Most of the time, I would not recommend spraying if really soybeans are looking very healthy and at this growing stage. But we need to go and walk our fields to know that.
My guest again today, Dr. Horacio Lopez Nicora. This update brought to you by the Ohio Soybean Council and your soybean checkoff.
And thanks, Dusty. Well, Centerra Co-op and Mercer Landmark have formed a strategic alliance called Lake States Alliance. This agricultural partnership will bring value to members in multiple ways while maintaining each co-op's unique identity. Leadership teams from both co-ops will explore multiple areas where we might work together to bring new products and ideas to our members and customers alike. Centerra CEO Gene Bratton is excited for the opportunity, saying each of us has unique market offerings that the other does not have. I look forward to sharing Centerra's advantages with Mercer and exploring where Centerra might outpace our competitors through this partnership. This unique opportunity enables two strong Ohio-based co-ops to leverage their individual strengths for the benefit of their customers and members. I'm excited about getting our team members involved in this collaborative process and the potential they can unlock for producers across the region, said Heath Barnes, CEO of Mercer Landmark. Back with more after this.
The Southwest Ohio Corn Growers will be hosting their annual field day Tuesday, August 13th at the Fayette County Airport. Topics include Agriculture Outlook and Policy Update, Ben Brown, University of Missouri, tar spot detection, and then what, Pierce Paul, OSU, interseeding cover crops with drones, Alex Thomas, OSU, Economics of Grain Storage, Eric Rieker, OSU. The Southwest Ohio Corn Growers Field Day will begin at 9 a.m. For more information, please visit fayette.osu.edu.
Hey Ohio, exciting news coming to you from Ohio's Country Journal. Subscribe or renew your free subscription by September 20th of 2024 and you could win one of 4 50-inch televisions. Ohio's Country Journal is free, but subscribers have to renew their subscriptions every 3 years to continue to receive it. Subscribe or renew to stay updated on all things Ohio, from agricultural insights to rural lifestyle. Don't miss out. Visit our website today at ocj.com/renew.
Well, state warning labels on products containing glyphosate that include information contrary to scientific findings from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency would constitute misbranding if the agency grants a new petition filed Wednesday by state attorneys generals from 11 states. The attorney generals from 11 states petitioned the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to act on glyphosate labels. Glyphosate is the active ingredient in Roundup that it has been the subject of numerous product liability lawsuits across the country alleging cancer links to the herbicide use. Juries have awarded billions of dollars in damages to alleged victims, although EPA and other governmental bodies around the world have maintained available science establishes no cancer connection. On Wednesday, the attorneys generals from Iowa and Nebraska led the filing of the petition, joined by those from Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Indiana, Louisiana, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and South Carolina. petitioners respectfully request EPA to declare that any state labeling requirements inconsistent with EPA's findings and conclusions from its human health risk assessment on human health effects, such as a pesticide's likelihood to cause cancer, birth defects, or reproductive harm, constitutes misbranding under the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act, the state said in their petition. Time now for the Louis Dreyfus Grain Analysis, brought to you by the Ohio Soybean Council and your soybean checkoff. Here's Ryan Martin.
Mostly lower numbers on the grain markets yesterday. Markets were fighting a little bit of headwind out there. At the end of the day, we saw soybeans down anywhere from 8 to 9 cents, corn down 4 to 5, and the wheat markets were anywhere from 4 to 7 lower, Chicago, KC, and Minneapolis markets. As we take a look at some of the stories today, the markets were definitely seeing new investment flowing back into equities. The Dow, NASDAQ, S&P all continuing their recovery after the debacle that was the start of the week. And so money flow was a part of this. The southeast and parts of the western plains will be looking at very key weather conditions as we move through the next week to 10 days. Some significant heat in the central and western plains will be noted. Yield estimates from the Commercial Trade Group ahead of the August WASDE report are centered on about 182 to 183 bushels to the acre on corn, 52.5 on soybeans. Yesterday had no new flash reported sales. We do have weekly export sales report this morning, but I don't think it's going to have a lot of excitement to it. Funds yesterday were reluctant to chase December Board of Trade wheat contracts higher after the contracts broke through the 20-day moving average on Tuesday. Russia's FOB wheat market is once again flat in that 221 to 225 per metric ton range, and that's all the way into December delivery. Gulf SRW wheat is rather cheap in the face of the global marketplace, but not cheap enough. U.S. ethanol production for the week ending August 2nd totaled 314 million gallons, down from the week prior. The all-time record that week was 326 million gallons. U.S. commercial crude inventories last Friday totaled 429 million barrels versus 433 the week prior. Not much to read into on the energy side of the equation. So a pretty slow and sluggish day, all things considered. I'm Ryan Martin.
Back with the overnight figures after this.
It's time to cut costs. Your Meristem dealer has the keys. Unlock the NPK you already own with new improved Excavator AMS powered by microbialized technology. Excavator AMS is the first and only all-in-one nutrient release and residue breakdown product with built-in nitrogen, surfactants, and water conditioner. Take cost out of your fertilizer and adjuvant spend now. Unlock nutrition faster with Excavator AMS. Learn more and find a dealer at meristemag.com. Always more bushels for less.
Today's market's brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. In yesterday's figures, December corn down 4.5, November beans down 8, and next July wheat down 3 3/4. Turning to the overnight now, we have September corn down a penny at 3.82 1/4 cents. December also down a penny at 3.99 3/4. But if you held that crop till next March, it's $4.17 1/4 cents, down 3/4. August beans up 3 cents at 10.23 1/4 cents, while new crops down 2 cents at 10.16 3/4. Carry it out to January, you're down 2 1/4 at 10.32 1/2. September wheat, if you're carrying it, up a penny and a half this morning at 5.39 3/4. The July 25 new crop wheat is up 2 cents at 6.02 1/2. And if you carried that out till September, you'd be at 6.15 3/4, up 4 3/4. In livestock, August cattle, $182.27, up 30 yesterday. October up 22 cents, closing at 179.27. The December is 178.12, up 7 cents. Then we turn lower again. August lean hogs down 67 cents at $90.60. The October down $1.82 at $74.57. And December down $1.87 and at $67.07. September feeder cattle, $238.90, down $1.67. October feeder cattle, $238.12, and down 90 cents. September Class 3 milk is up 5 cents in this morning's trade at $20.85. By the way, on our website, not always the Ohio Crop Tour data there. If you go into the recent videos file, all of the Ohio State Fair, Junior Fair exhibitor interviews are still there as well. Thanks for joining us. This is the Ohio AgNet.